I would say that I am typically someone who spends a lot of time in the kitchen cooking dinners and other meals for my family, and generally I do that because I really enjoy it and I enjoy making food that is going to nourish us. And if it takes a little bit longer, that is a-okay. But sometimes I have weeks where I just want to make meals that are requiring the bare minimum effort, and that is what I'm sharing with you this week. I am going to show you 3 meals. One of them even is great as leftovers, so that is the ultimate win when it comes to dinner. But 3 meals I made this week that are easy, require very little time of actually prepping, and are still good and nourishing, but really are very basic. So save this video for those weeks when you just need something that you can count on that is going to be fast and easy, and let's see what we are cooking in the kitchen. I'm actually starting off right here making ground beef teriyaki with roasted broccoli and rice. For the teriyaki beef part, I went ahead and got some onion sauteing in a pan. I have some rice cooking in the background, and I'm just preparing my broccoli. All you do is take a bag of frozen broccoli, dump it out, and add oil and seasonings, and then roast that in the oven. It always turns out really well, and it's my favorite way to do a quick vegetable and always have it on hand. The beef teriyaki is super simple. You just saute your onions, and once that is done, you just cook up the ground beef. You add a very simple sauce, and that is pretty much it. So while I'm letting my beef cook down, I'm just going to get this broccoli cooking in the oven. This part is definitely the fastest, so I like to wait and do this closer to the end just so that my broccoli doesn't get cold or overcooked. We had a very busy week last week, and we had family in town, we were traveling, just doing a lot of things that were out of the ordinary, and so that is definitely why I felt like I needed to strip things back to the basics and do really simple food. I would wake up every morning and just feel like I don't know if I have the energy to do my usual stuff today, and so when I have a week like that, I know that it's not the time to be trying a new recipe. It's not the time to try to be doing something that's extra cozy and comforting. It's just about getting dinner on the table in a timely fashion and having a minimal cleanup so that we can sit down, enjoy dinner, and then rest for the rest of the evening once we get the baby down. But we really enjoyed this meal, and it's something that I make a lot, and so it is always a classic that I like to fall back on. Here I'm getting ready to make some chicken curry. When I am trying to get dinner done quickly and as hands-off as possible with as few dishes as possible, my Instant Pot comes in handy so much. If you do not have one of these, I would highly recommend it. Even if you're not someone who likes to cook very much, it's just so handy. So I'll make sure to leave a link for that in the description. But this is one of my favorite recipes for when I want something that's easy and something that makes leftovers, because all you do is dump all of the ingredients into the Instant Pot. You don't even have to mix them up. You just pour it all in there, and then you turn it on and you let it do its thing. And then when the Instant Pot has finished its cycle, you can take the chicken breasts out, cut them up, and then add some frozen peas, and that's pretty much it. I like to make rice with this too, just so it can go a little further, and I like a curry that has a little bit more of a sauciness to it. So I know some curries are maybe more on the drier side as far as there's not as much liquid, but I like mine with more liquid so that the rice can kind of soak it all up, and that definitely helps it go further. We get at least 2 dinners out of this, if not 2 dinners and a lunch, and that always makes me really happy. And like soup, curry is one of those things where it just tastes better the next day. So if you're someone who likes to meal prep, this also is a great idea, because you can just go ahead and cook it, and then it sits in your fridge and it's ready to eat. the Instant Pot always gets my chicken perfectly tender. I can't cook chicken like this in any other method. So typically if I'm making chicken, it's in my Instant Pot because it's always tender. It just falls apart. It's moist. It's just delicious and it has a great flavor. And typically when I'm making dinner and I'm thinking I just want a very low effort dinner, I'm just thinking, how can I do a meat, a vegetable, and a carb? So this meal definitely solves that problem. You've got your chicken as your meat, there's frozen peas as a vegetable, and carb as rice. So that's how it really helps me think those through. Just, okay, am I going to check off these 3 boxes? Yes. And honestly, this meal in particular is done so fast that it can be done probably before you were able to go through a drive-thru, pick it up, and drive it back home. It's quite quick. So we really enjoyed that meal in our house, and I always keep the ingredients on hand so that I can throw it together last minute if I need to. And I always keep chicken in my freezer also for that purpose. And the last meal I'm going to share with you is shredded barbecue chicken with some protein mac and cheese and roasted zucchini. This is also another great one that I fall back on. I'm showing you here this barbecue seasoning we really like. So I'm just seasoning up my chicken breast. I use that barbecue seasoning, a little paprika, a little garlic powder, salt, pepper, but you can really use whatever you like. And when you're making chicken breasts like this in the Instant Pot, you just add in your spices. You put in about a cup of broth or water. I'm using bone broth just to add a little bit of extra nutrition without any effort at all. And I cook that down. Typically for chicken breasts, I do about 9 to 11 minutes. It depends on how big they are. But while that's doing its thing, I'm going to get my zucchini cut up. I was trying to make zucchini fries, but sometimes I have a hard time getting a crisp, like my zucchini to crisp up. It usually just kind of turns mushy. So I need to work on that a little bit. But I think if I had an air fryer, it would have been better. I used to have one, but it was coated in nonstick and I didn't feel great about cooking with that. So I think I'm going to have to look into finding a stainless steel one. I know that they exist. So if you have any recommendations, definitely let me know. But again, I like to do my meat, carb, veggie, and then I like to kind of keep it interesting. I don't really love to eat the same things every day. If it's leftovers, I don't mind, but I don't want to eat broccoli for 5 dinners a week. So I like to do a little bit of a variety. And right now, because my baby is 7.5 months old, he's eating all of these things with us too. So I like to try and offer him a bunch of different options. I decided to try this chickpea pasta from Aldi. I'll show the package in a little bit, but we really liked it. I did have to lay the baby down once I finished it, and my husband and my friend started eating. So by the time I got to it, it probably was a little drier than I'd like, but it was still good. This is also my favorite barbecue sauce that doesn't have corn syrup in it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video inspiring you with some easy meal ideas that you can still use to nourish your family with, even on those busy days. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.